everyone. Welcome to the Modern Builder. All right, today we're going to hit AI and real estate development and construction. What does that mean for you? What topics are we looking at? How is that going to change the dynamic in which we build in the future? All right, let's kick it. So, first of all, a lot of times when we think of AI, especially in this industry that's a little bit reluctant to adopting technology, we consider things like robots that are going to build the next World Trade Center for us. Well, let me tell you, that's a long ways away. You know, it's great to push our boundaries and push the way that we consider innovation and technology. At the same time, let's start simple. Let's focus on easy wins that create significant impact immediately and compound in that impact. What do I mean by that? Think about administrative tasks. Think about managing communication, documents, and data, generally speaking, across the dozens of stakeholders that exist when we build really any kind of project, right? I mean, that number only increases when we increase that project value, that project size. So think about, I don't know, $100 million multifamily development, right? You got tons of stakeholders involved, and you have a necessity to collaborate with those stakeholders, right? So if we're not collaborating with those stakeholders, if we're not allowing for a simple means for our trades to communicate, a submittal, an RFI to the GC through to the design team, potentially some involvement with the owner if there's going to be a change in, a finish, a spec, a timeline, a schedule, whatever. You get the picture. Lots of different companies, lots of different people, lots of different perspectives. How is this flow happening on a job, right? How is this flow happening in a way that is not going to diminish the relationship across these stakeholders? How is the flow happening in a way that is not going to cause delay, which of course, time is money, money is time, right? Let me tell you what is not going to work. What's not going to work is Excel and email and handwritten notes and, a revenue share model for some legacy tech product, right? What is going to work, though, is a modern tech stack that's simple, like the smartphone you're using today, like the computer you're using today, like any new technology you're using today, right? That's what's going to work. And really, as a bonus of what that's doing for you, is it's indexing that data. It's indexing that back and forth. It's indexing the details of that submittal, of the specification, of the communication that's happening, right? It's automating the workflow across those teams. It's automating those reminders, those due dates, those ball and courts, those open action items, the transparency across these stakeholders, the accountability across these stakeholders, right? So all of these things are creating efficiencies. I mean, I guess you can say arguably at a significant amount or arguably at a small amount. Nonetheless, regardless of what angle, cup half full, half empty you want to take there, it's still a few seconds, a few minutes for every single one of these stakeholders, for every single submittal, for every single RFI, for every single meeting minute, for every single budget review, for every single permit management tracking, right? So these are maybe small numbers when you think about one submittal, but certainly when you look at a project over time, it is not small, right? That's significant time that could be saved. And again, do I got to remind anyone what time is? No, I don't. Time's money, right? So that's what we're looking at. Yeah. It's starting simple with what AI can do for you. So back to that original point, we're not talking about robots just yet. I mean, there are companies that are looking at robots like Boston Dynamics. They got robots bouncing around fake job sites and whatnot that they set up to test the robot. Pretty crazy stuff. I'm not taking away from robots doing robot things. That's great. I encourage that. I hope that continues to increase in its capability, so on and so forth. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about how you bridge the gap between what you're doing today and that robot helping your team on job sites, right? So what we're doing today is we're creating efficiency with modern tech in the same exact way that you're creating efficiency by upgrading your smartphone, by getting a new computer, by, I don't know, getting a new Apple Watch, right? These are all, relatively speaking, small changes, small upgrades, small improvements on tech, iPhone after iPhone, Android after Android, right, year over year. But it's still creating efficiency. And when you look at it at the scale of a project, back to that $100 million multifamily example, random example I'm throwing out there, right? You're talking about those small wins across all of these stakeholders, across all of these functions, all of these operations for the course of your, I don't know, average 2-year, 3-year project timeline. That's not insignificant. I mean, that is significant time that you have the opportunity to save on. And guess what? With modern tech, you don't have to enter a revenue share agreement, a percentage of your construction volume to onboard, to leverage, to use technology. You don't need to do that, right? Let's move away from legacy model. Let's move away from legacy wrapping us up, handcuffing us with licensing agreements, with friction in integrations, with difficulty in using the product in these crazy certification programs. Come on, you don't buy a phone and enter a certification program, post it on LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm certified in Gmail messaging. I'm certified in iMessage on WhatsApp. I'm certified in, I don't know, calendar, right? I mean, that's crazy talk, right? So that's what we're talking about, is all of these small things add up. So what did I just touch on? I touched on intuitive product use, right? So we talked about upgrading the tech stack. So, that can be speed increases, that could be better placement of solutions, so that instead of thinking about the 10 clicks to accomplish a task, it's so obvious right in front of you that in 1 click, in 2 clicks, 3 clicks max, you're getting to the action item that you're trying to address. You're responding to that open item that you've been assigned to. You're doing what you need to do in less clicks. You don't need to be certified. You don't need to get trained up on using a management platform, right? We're not talking rocket science. We're not talking robots that, are going to build an 80-floor high rise in the heart of Manhattan, right? We're just talking about basic core management solutions for construction and real estate development. That's what we're talking about. If anybody here thinks they need a certificate to run through such a platform, they're stuck in the 90s. That's reality, right?